Tony Hurst from Glinton in Cambridgeshire. Ian Powers from Worcester Park in Surrey. David Jones from Agull on Merseyside. Mark Neville from Worcester Park. Derek Borton from Canterbury. Martin Driscoll from Derby. Derek Ambler from Yapton, West Sussex. Sarah Martin from Northampton. David Albinson from Puckeridge in Hertfordshire. Sandra White from Stocksbridge in South Yorkshire. Cedric Gunnery from Streatham in London. John Gray from Telscombe Cliffs in East Sussex. Andrew Martin from Chester. Tony Allard from Wigan. And Tim Follen from Ayr are all here to play 15 to 1. Presented by William G. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello, our previous winner today is David Albinson from Puckeridge in Hertfordshire, who's been with us 6 times in the past, 3 times a winner. He's also appeared in 3 grand finals. Welcome back, David. The finals board moves on. There it is. And a winning score above 151 would remove Graham Kennedy. Off we go. And we begin with Tony Hurst from Glinton in Cambridgeshire. Tony, saints. According to legend, the weather conditions of his feast day, the 15th of July, prevail for 40 days afterwards. Which saint?
St Swithin.
Ian, please. Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days. Whose famous global journey began and ended at the Reform Club in Pall Mall in London? Phileas Fogg. David, please. Sport. In July, Junichi Inamoto became the first Japanese footballer to sign for an English Premiership club. Which London club?
Arsenal.
Mark, please. Greek mythology. How were the 12 giant children of Uranus and Gaia, who included Cronus, Rhea and Phoebe, known collectively?
The Titans.
And Derek, please. Magazines. What's the name of the right-wing weekly magazine founded in 1828 and owned by the Telegraph Group?
The Spectator.
Martin, quotations. I'm dying beyond my means. And he did so in the Hôtel d'Alsace in Paris on the 30th of November 1900. Who?
Oscar Wilde.
Derek, please. Complete this verse from the Lawrence Hart song. I get too hungry for dinner at 8. I like the theatre but never come late. I never bother with people I hate. That's why... What?
The Lady is a Tramp.
Sarah, please. Television. Which couple presented their long-running morning magazine programme on ITV for the last time in July?
Richard Madeley and Judy Finnegan.
And David, please. The House of Commons. Jenny Tong, Simon Hughes and Matthew Taylor all represent which party in the House of Commons?
The Liberal Democrats.
And Sandra, please. In which decade of the 19th century did the Crimean War take place?
70s.
1850s. And Cedric, please. Art and famous paintings. Which 15th, 16th century Italian artist painted The Birth of Venus, depicting the goddess standing on a scallop shell?
No idea.
Botticelli. John, please. Science. Which metallic element is always a component of an amalgam?
Mercury.
Andrew, please. Reference books. The surname, please, of the lexicographer who compiled a thesaurus of English words and phrases, first published in 1852.
Roger.
Yes, indeed, Roger. And Tony, please. Pop music. The glam rock band T-Rex disbanded in 1977 when their singer and guitarist died. His name, please?
Eric Clapton.
Mark Bolan. And Tim, please. Which best-selling American writer surveyed Britain and its idiosyncratic customs in his popular work Notes from a Small Island?
Bill Bryson.
And your second question, Tony. The BT speaking clock. What's the name of the man whose voice you hear on the speaking clock?
The fuckest idea.
His name is Brian Cobby. Ian, please. National days. Which country celebrates a national holiday on the 26th of January to commemorate the founding of the first colony there in 1788? Australia. David, please. Where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise. Lines from the poem On a Distant Prospect of Eton College. The poet, please.
No, sorry, don't know.
Thomas Gray. Mark. The media. 2 national Sunday newspapers are part of the News International organisation, of which Rupert Murdoch is chief executive. Which 2 Sunday newspapers?
The News of the World and the Sunday Times.
And Derek, please. Geography. Port of Spain is the capital of which Caribbean Commonwealth country?
Trinidad.
And
Tobago.
Yes, indeed. Martin. European history. Which large island, lying mostly within the Arctic Circle, was awarded to Denmark by the International Court of Justice in 1933?
Greenland.
Derek, please. Politics and television. Who is the BBC's political editor?
Jon Snow.
Andrew Marr. Sarah, please. Charles Dickens. Daniel Quilp, Dick Swiveller, Kit Nubbles and Little Nell. Characters in which Dickens novel?
The Old Curiosity Shop.
David, please. The American Civil War. Which song commemorates General Sherman's advance to the sea in 1864 during the American Civil War?
Marching Through Georgia.
Sandra, please. In which racket game is play continued only by volleying and scoring only accomplished by the server?
Real tennis.
Badminton. And Cedric, please. The royal family. Princess Alexandra. What are the first names of her two brothers?
Edward.
And?
Michael.
Yes, the Duke of Kent and Prince Michael of Kent. And John, please. English history. Which series of wars began with the Battle of St Albans and finally ended when a Yorkist invasion was defeated at Stoke in 1487?
Civil War.
The Wars of the Roses. Andrew, please. The USA. What's the name of the famous highway running from downtown Los Angeles to the Pacific Ocean, which is also the title of an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical?
Sunset Boulevard.
Tony, please. Architecture. Which architect designed Liverpool's neo-Gothic Anglican Cathedral, Battersea Power Station and Waterloo Bridge?
Mortimer.
Sir Giles Gilbert Scott. Tim, insects. Which insect, important in controlling greenfly and other aphids that feed on garden plants, in different parts of Britain has the alternative names Bishop Barnaby and Cush Cow Lady?
Ladybird.
Indeed. It's 3 down, 12 to go, and those 3 must leave us now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And Laura, please.
And they are Ian Powers, Sandra White and Tony Allard. And of the remaining 12 contestants, 7 still have their 3 lives intact.
And we start round 2 with Tony at number 1. And Tony, we start with television. Jerry Anderson, creator of the television series Thunderbirds, Stingray, Fireball XL5. What's his nationality?
He's English.
Yeah, well, British, yes. And a number, please?
5.
Still television. At an auction in July, Christie's sold the original puppets and costumes of Zippy, George and Bunga for £8,000. In which television programme had these characters appeared for 20 years?
I have no idea.
The children's series, Rainbow. Again, please, Tony.
8.
Test cricket. Which bowler, who played for Yorkshire and England and has since become a commentator on the game, was the first bowler to take 300 Test wickets?
Jeff Boycott.
Fred Truman. And again, please.
3.
Who is the only 20th century British Prime Minister never to have led his party in a general election campaign?
Anthony Eden.
Neville Chamberlain. Another number?
12.
John, please. Which violinist at the age of 16 recorded Elgar's concerto with the composer conducting and made famous recordings with Stefan Grappelli and Ravi Shankar in his later years?
Sitar.
Yehudi Menuhin. Again, please.
7.
Still Yehudi Menuhin. He was of Russian parentage and became a British citizen, but in which country was he born?
France.
The USA. Again, please, Tony.
6.
The royal household. The most senior position in the royal household is currently held by the Lord Luce. Which position?
Chef de keep.
He's the Lord Chamberlain. Again, please.
15.
The USA, please, Tim. The National Cemetery lies in which county of Virginia across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C.?
Arlington.
And a number, please, Tim.
3.
Charles Dickens, David. Which eponymous character has a grasping moneylender uncle called Ralph, a sister called Kate, and a cousin called Smike? Nicholas Nickleby. Again, please, Tim.
4.
The BBC Director-General, Greg Dyke, announced this year that he had saved £20 million a year in company overheads by reducing what he called the cost of the 3 Cs: consultants, cars, and what else?
Costs.
Croissants with breakfast. Again, Tim.
5.
Derek, please. South Africa. Which large urban area adjoining Johannesburg has a name that is a contraction of southwestern townships?
Soweto.
And a number, please, Derek.
13.
Famous quotations, Andrew, from a speech by a trade unionist in 1926. Not a penny off the pay. What comes next?
Not a pound off the plate.
Not a second on the day. Again, please, Derek.
15.
Which part of the body is affected by encephalitis?
The brain.
And number, Tim.
7.
Newspapers, Derek. Bruce Anderson, Miles Kington and Hamish McRae are regular columnists on which national daily newspaper?
Daily Mail.
The Independent. Again, please.
8.
Fishing, Sarah. How would someone catch a fish by guddling?
With the hands.
Yes, they tickle them under the tummy, apparently. And onwards, please.
11, please.
Football again, Cedric. 6 London clubs play in the Premiership. Arsenal, Chelsea, Charlton and Tottenham Hotspur. Who are the other 2?
West Ham.
And?
Fulham.
Yes, onwards, please. A number?
Number 4.
The Middle East, Mark. King Abdullah II of Jordan. Whom did he succeed in 1999?
King Hussein.
And a number, Mark?
9.
The OAS, based in Washington, includes amongst its members Barbados, Chile and the USA. What is the OAS, or what does OAS stand for?
Organisation of American States.
And a number, please?
Number 15.
Latin phrases. If something was said to have been done in mala fide, what would that mean?
In good faith.
The opposite, in bad faith. Again, please.
Number 13.
The musical Guys and Dolls is based on the stories of which American writer?
David Runyon.
Not David, Damon Runyon. Again, please, David.
Number 11.
Still musicals, still Guys and Dolls. Who wrote the music and lyrics for the musical Guys and Dolls?
Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Frank Lesser. Again, David.
Number 1.
The Monarchy, please, Tony. An actress named Dorothea Bland, known professionally as Mrs. Jordan, was the mistress and the mother of 10 children, of which future king of the House of Hanover?
Prince Regent.
William IV. Again, please.
Number 4.
Famous nicknames, Mark. Which country, and subsequently its empire, became known as the sick man of Europe in the 19th century?
France.
Turkey. Again, please.
5.
Currency. For the exchange of goods, 1 pence and 2 pence coins are each considered to be legal tender up to what amount, above which they may be refused?
10 pence.
20 pence. Again, David.
6.
What word, literally meaning little book, means the text of an opera?
Libretto.
A number, please, Martin.
13, please.
Law, Andrew. What legal term is used to describe the situation in which a judge makes an error in law when summing up for a jury? Misdirection. Again, please.
Number 12, please.
Which valley in the North Pennines contains High Force, England's largest waterfall by volume, and Crossfell, the highest point in the Pennines? No? Teesdale. Again, please.
Number 11, please.
Garden design, Cedric. What term is used for the clipping of trees and bushes into decorative shapes?
Topiary.
And a number, Cedric.
Number 5.
And still botany, Derek. Which group of shrubs and small trees are known as ericas?
Heaths.
Yes, or heathers, yes. Onwards, please, a number.
9.
And David, the Royal Navy currently has 2 operational aircraft carriers. Either of the 2, please.
Ark Royal.
No, it's a refit. The 2 operational are Illustrious and Invincible. Again, please.
Number 1.
The name, please, of the major manufacturer of cinema organs whose mighty model was deemed to be the largest, most magnificent and most costly organ ever made.
Wurlitzer.
Indeed, yes. I think it is a W in this case. Yes. Onwards, Tony.
Oh, sorry. 9.
David, which book of linked stories by Rudyard Kipling concerns Beetle, McTurk and Corcoran, who share number 5 study at a Devon boarding school?
Storky and Co.
And number, David?
Number 8.
The Bible Genesis. Joseph, of the coat of many colours, was an oniroscopist at Pharaoh's court. What is an oniroscopist?
An interpreter of dreams.
And a number, please, Sarah.
15, please.
Music, please, Tim. The ukulele is a musical instrument particularly associated with which US state where it was developed?
Louisiana.
Hawaii. Again, please, Sarah.
11, please.
Industry. At Fawley near Southampton and Ellesmere Port in Cheshire are 2 of Britain's largest complexes in which industry?
Computing.
Oil refining. Again, please.
6, please.
Law again. In Scotland, it is called the Faculty of Advocates. What's the equivalent body called in England and Wales?
Or is it the bar?
Yes, it is. General Counsel of the Bar. Onwards, please.
Number 1, please.
This is Proverbs, Tony, rhyming Proverbs. No bees, no honey. What comes next?
Something and no money, I suppose, but I can't think what.
No work, no money. Oh. And again, Martin?
Number 4, please.
Science and physics, Mark. What name is given to the study of the interrelation between heat and other forms of energy?
Thermodynamics.
And number, Mark?
8.
A treaty signed by 6 countries on the 25th of March 1957 set up what was then known as the European Common Market. What name was given to the treaty?
Treaty of Rome.
And number, Sarah?
9, please.
Place names, David. As in the Irish place names Carrickfergus and Carrickmacross, what does the prefix Carrick indicate?
Market.
Rock. Again, please, Sarah.
4, please.
Germany. The city of Heidelberg lies on which river in Germany?
The Rhine.
The Neckar. Again, Sarah.
15, please.
And the King James version of the Bible? Deuteronomy. From which mountain did Moses view the promised land?
Ararat.
The mountain of Nebo. Again, please.
9, please.
Which fibre is obtained from the plant with the botanical name Gossypium?
Cotton.
And number, David?
Number 5.
And opera, please, Derek. Benvenuto Cellini, Beatrice and Benedict, The Trojans. The composer, please.
Verdi.
Berlioz. Well, that was a pretty good standard, I think. It is 12 down, 3 to go. And after the break, Martin Driscoll from Derby, Sarah Martin from Northampton, and David Albinson from Puckeridge in Hertfordshire will be here for the final. I hope you'll be here with us.
The 3 surviving contestants in today's 15 to 1 final are Martin Driscoll, a transport supervisor from Derby. He works for a local haulage company and his hobbies include 10-pin bowling and taking part in pub quizzes. Sarah Martin, a finance manager from Northampton. She's a shadow minister for the official Monster Raving Loony Party. And David Albinson, a development chemist from Puckeridge in Hertfordshire. His interests include folk music, travel and amateur dramatics.
Thank you. Welcome back. Martin, Sarah and David, put your fingers on the buzzers and we'll make a start. In which fortnightly magazine are there columns called Street of Shame, HP Source, David?
Private Eye.
Poetry, the subject of a poem by T.S. Eliot. Who or what is the character Macavity? Sarah?
The Mystery Cat.
And television terms. What term is used for a single or first segment of a proposed television series made as a sample to interest? Sarah?
Pilot.
What sort of speech is a valedictory speech? Sarah?
Farewell speech.
3 correct answers. Question or nominate?
Martin, please.
Born Francis Pakenham, he died in August at the age of 95. By what name was this penal reform campaigner and former Labour cabinet minister better known?
Lord Longford.
Question or nominate?
Nominate David, please.
As in such place names as Pontypool and Pontefract, what does the prefix pont mean?
Bridge.
Question or nominate?
Nominate Sarah.
Sarah, writings about Shakespeare. Who, with his sister Mary, wrote the well-known Tales from Shakespeare, published in 1807?
Charles Lamb.
Question or nominate?
David, please.
David, which British government department's responsibilities include the police, immigration and prisons?
The Home Office.
Question or nominate?
Nominate Martin.
Martin, look at this, please, and tell me. The Queen uses this banner when acting in which specific capacity?
Head of the Commonwealth.
Yes, indeed. Question or nominate?
Question, please.
The USA, the Statue of Liberty is a female figure carrying a book of laws in her left hand. What does she carry in her right hand?
A torch.
Question or nominate?
Sarah, please.
Sarah, still the USA. Which of the original 13 states of the Union takes its name from its founder, a 17th century born English Quaker?
Pennsylvania.
Yes, from William Penn. And question or nominate?
Question, please.
BBC Radio. On which BBC network can you hear the programmes Outlook, Europe Today and The World Today?
Radio 5 Live.
The World Service. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. Famous as half of a television duo, the name, please, of the director of the films The Tall Guy, Bean, and most recently, David?
Mel Smith.
Question or nominate?
Nominate Martin, please.
English folk songs. Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me off discourteously. The first lines of a song, the tune of which is sometimes attributed to King Henry VIII. What's the name of the tune?
Greensleeves.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Scotland. Which port on the Isle of Lewis in northwest Scotland is the largest town of the Outer Hebrides?
I don't know.
Stornoway. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. What does a plant lose during the process called transpiration? Martin?
Water.
Yes, a water vapour. Question or nominate?
David, please.
David? Sport. The Korean Seri Pak won the Women's British Open at Sunningdale in August. In which sport?
Golf.
Question or nominate?
Sarah.
Folk dances. Which folk dance for couples in triple time with a heavily accented first beat is named after a province in Poland? The Mazurka. Again, David?
Martin.
Look at this, please, and tell me, who is this British author whose novels The Chamomile Lawn and The Vacillations of Poppy Carew were both dramatised for television?
I don't know.
Mary Wesley. David, again, please.
Sarah.
Daphne du Maurier. A young woman employed as a companion to the odious Mrs. Van Hopper is courted by a glamorous widower in the south of France and returns to his beautiful house in Cornwall as his second wife. Which novel?
Rebecca.
Question or nominate?
David, please.
And David, magazines and the law. Jim Anderson, Richard Neville and Felix Dennis were editors of which magazine prosecuted in a famous obscenity trial at the Old Bailey in the 1970s?
Oz.
And question or nominate?
Martin, please.
The Bible. Which word, used as the title of a book by the English philosopher Thomas Hobbes, is used in the Old Testament to refer to a kind of sea monster?
Drakon.
Leviathan. You have to leave it straight. I'm back with you, David. Question or nominate?
Sarah, please.
Sarah, Panay, Mindoro, Mindanao and Luzon are four of the main islands that form which Southeast Asian country?
Philippines.
Question or nominate when you catch your breath?
David, please.
David, which famous Paris daily newspaper shares its name with a scheming barber in an opera by Rossini?
Figaro.
Yes, Le Figaro. And question or nominate?
Sarah, please.
Still opera. What's the popular name of the famous 18th century opera house in Milan?
La Scala.
Yes, Teatro alla Scala. And question or nominate?
David, please.
History and saints. Which 10th century Duke of Bohemia, known for his piety, was assassinated by his brother and became Bohemia's patron saint?
St Nicholas.
St Wenceslas. And again, please, Sarah?
David again, please.
Look at this, please, and tell me, this is part of the logo of the animal welfare charity NCDL. What does NCDL stand for?
National Canine Defence League.
And question or nominate?
Sarah, please.
The name, please, of the 18-mile-long shingle bank that extends southeast from Bridport to the Isle of Portland in Dorset.
Chesil Bank.
Chesil Beach, or Chesil Bank, yes, also known as Chesil Bank. And again, please?
David, please.
And David, television. Dennis played Terry McCann in Minder. His daughter Hannah plays Laura Beale in EastEnders. What's their family name?
Waterman.
Question or nominate?
Nominate.
The Irish peerage, Sarah, the holder of which title is the Premier Duke and Marquess of Ireland?
Duke of Leinster.
Yes, Sarah. Question or
guess.
nominate?
David.
David, the natural world, what type of creature is a flying fox?
It's a bat.
Question or nominate?
Sarah.
Quotations, Rudyard Kipling. But the she-bear thus accosted rends the peasant's tooth and nail. For the female of the species, what comes next?
Is more deadly than the male.
Question or nominate?
David, please.
Look at this, David, and tell me. His real name is Declan McManus, but by what stage name is this singer-songwriter better known?
Elvis Costello.
Question or nominate?
Sarah.
Herbs and plants, Sarah. What's the common name of the plant Armoraceae rusticana, whose thick, fleshy, pungent roots are used to make a sauce popular with roast beef?
Horseradish.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
In which sport were the Bedford twins, famous names in the 1950s?
Cricket.
Yes, Alec and Eric, they played for Surrey. And question or nominate?
Question.
Oh, we're back to opera again. Ninetta, a servant girl, is accused of stealing some silver cutlery, but eventually the true felon turns out to be a pet bird. The plot of which Rossini opera?
The Thieving Magpie.
Question or nominate?
Question.
Mathematics. How is the fraction 1/5 expressed as a percentage?
20%.
Question or nominate?
Question.
In a standard game of darts, what's the total value of the inner bull and the outer bull?
75.
Question or nominate?
Question.
What foodstuff may be wholemeal, stone ground, wheat meal or white, and may be in forms called strong, plain or fine?
Flour.
Question or nominate?
Question.
Ancient Greece has related in the writings of Plato, with which poison did Socrates take his own life?
Hemlock.
You did the monster raving loony party proud. David, 171, 20 for those, 191, equal 10th position on the finals board, a borderline case for the grand final. And well done, Sarah. Well done, David. And well done, Martin, over there. And we'll be back tomorrow. See you then.